Hi, it's Megan. I am continuing on my incense-based fragrance trends with another classic, La Eau de Parfumeur Passage d'Enfer. And so this has been around for quite a while. And some people watching this will have already seen it. So they say, pure and mysterious, this otherworldly blend of flowers, aloe, and incense evokes cool stone walls, grand vaulted ceilings, and flickering candles. Subtle and lingering, this darkly beautiful fragrance draws you in and holds you like an incantation, hypnotic, seductive, unique. So the notes are white lily, frankincense, aloe, and white musk. And so this has been around since 1999, and the perfumer, the nose, was Olivia Giacobetti. And it also has benzoin in it. And what the name means is rite of passage, gates of hell, or passage through hell. So what did I think about it? First of all, it is an Eau de Toilette, and the one that I have is the 50 milliliters, but it also comes in 50 milliliters. So of course I went back to look up frankincense because I've looked it up before, but I don't know, sometimes I need these reminders, and I've been so into kind of the incense things, super smoky, super not smoky, super light, super heavy, super this, super that, but all with this underlying incense base. And I don't know if it's going back to kind of my childhood with my Catholic grandmother and the churches she used to take me to. Both my grandmothers used to take me to churches. Both of them had that kind of feel to them. But it's just been my mood lately, given that it's so warm where I am. I don't know why. So let's start with the frankincense. So first of all, I looked it up again, and it is a resinous sap that is basically from Africa or kind of the Arabia area, and it's a resin. The flowers are not used so much in perfume, and what I thought was really interesting was that it needs the moisture provided by morning mist and limestone rocks, and you can only collect it twice a year for 2 weeks, which I thought was super cool. And it was used against mosquitoes, embalming, and it's also used against anxiety and depression. So if you're suffering from mosquitoes, anxiety, or depression, this is a good scent for you. But it is a resinous sap, and that was used traditionally in incense, but also because it has that kind of African, Middle Eastern thing going on, there is that kind of sultry, exotic, light oriental, and that's where I'll start. So this, to me, I said it's like a deep, musty wood, burning incense at the very beginning. I'm getting smoke, I'm getting shadows, I'm getting something I can't read. I'm getting rain, I'm getting just, when I first smell it, it is like a wet, but not like a moldy kind of wet. It's a wet as in a fresh, and also not that aquatic stuff that's in so many fragrances. This is just a lighter incense. It's like it burned an hour ago when you walked into the room. Just those light, fleeting glimpses of that heaviness that was the incense, which is kind of a cool thing. And again, I didn't see in the notes wood. Although what they talk about, stone walls, ceilings, and flickering candles, I got a little bit of smokiness. I got cool from the stone walls. And I said shadows, which is, and rain, but without the petroleum rain. There really is a light airiness to this fragrance. A lot of reviews have called it ethereal, and I get that too. And part of it is about an hour in, I really start smelling. So it first starts out with this incense that opens up, but it's like faded incense, and it's a little bit of dew and fresh light air kind of thing without any of the green stuff or the petroleum or any of the stuff that comes with rain. It's just the rain itself. And then about an hour into it, I do smell a little bit more building of the frankincense, and that's actually where I get the aloe. I don't get the aloe at first. I do get the aloe about an hour in. And then it's got a light herbal feel to it, which is, if you think about aloe, that's what it is. It's herbal, but again, not that deep green version of herbal, just a light thing. The lily I get from the very beginning, and that's the floral. Lily to me is one of those, again, fleeting, whispering, nudging gently kind of flowers that is never going to overpower you. And that's exactly how this fragrance feels. It feels like you're in a dream. You're being just gently brought into a place that's a little bit otherworldly, a little bit nostalgic, a little bit burning, and a little bit exotic. That's where you get the frankincense, right? And the musk. A little bit exotic and a little bit complex, but more like a memory as opposed to a heaviness. And that's what I love about this fragrance the best, is that since I've been doing so many of these like incense, and a lot of them have these great, you know, oriental aspects and warmth to it, this one's not as warm. It's not as familiar. It's not as embracing. It's different. Does not wear super well on me though. I do find that it fades after 2 to 3 hours, and it might just be because it is such a subtle scent that even though it's there, I'm just not smelling it. Because, you know, when I'm doing these videos for a couple days, I'll wear the fragrance, and sometimes I'm doing this all the time, and you start losing your sense of the fragrance. There's no sweetness also. That was one of the things that was really interesting. It's not a harsh fragrance. It doesn't have any of the citruses that sometimes sweeten, or the roses, kind of those heavier. I never thought of them as heavier in the incense context until I started feeling this one. And then again, it's the aloe adding and the lily adding a little bit of an aquatic element, which is something more perfumers should do, because it works a lot better than that fake kind of aqua thing that's out there these days. And what else did I say? I think that's pretty much it. I would note that this is something that is unisex, I think, for most. And then the other thing I would note about it is that the warmth and the burning sensation, the feeling of that burning incense versus the raw, cool incense, on me personally kind of shifts. I get it warmer at some points, and then it kind of cools off again, which is a little bit of an interesting feel, and it might just be my own chemistry. What else did I say? It's obviously a soft floral, which is why I said unisex, and I talked about the lily being kind of less. And then the other thing is that as it dries down, it kind of fades away into, I don't know, less of the depth that you get at the very beginning of the fragrance. It fades away lightly. And so it does almost become a different scent 2 or 3 or so hours into it. Not in a bad way or not in an unrecognizable way, but just it's so much lighter in feel. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this one. I would love to hear. I'm sure other people have smelled this one many times before, since it's not a new fragrance. And I'm still continuing not only to look at incense fragrances, but maybe a little too much to be looking at incense fragrances. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe on YouTube.